If at first you don't succeed, try again. And boy did they. What a difference a year can make. Burnout 2 Point of Impact dropped in 2002, just 1 year after the not so great first game, and it's an upgrade in every single way. This is a lot closer to the Burnout that I know and love. The achievement set this time is no joke either. There's 59 achievements to earn, way more than last time. But before we dig into those, I want to point out a couple of things that I really like about this game. First, the Grand Prix system. Instead of finishing above a specific position in every race, it now uses a leaderboard point system. Sure, you still need first place to grab gold, but it feels a little more familiar to people who have played most racing games. Second, the car system. Instead of the difficulty levels from the last game, every car has its own stats. I love that each one feels unique instead of just being a cosmetic reskin. Some are clearly better than others, but you unlock those a little later in the game, so there's time to actually try other vehicles for once. But let's get into the game and see how much it's actually changed. It starts with 6 tutorial levels. If you played the first game, you won't learn anything new. We've got lessons for driving into oncoming traffic, near misses, drifting, getting air, earning boost, and using said boost. We get a gold medal on all of them and earn our first achievement for this set. Once that's out of the way, you've got a few options here: championship mode, crash mode, and time attack. We'll spend most of our time in championship, but achievements are spread across all 3 modes. We jump into championship mode, and starting with the first Grand Prix, you can already tell the car selection is way better, even just the starting options. I picked the Roadster because it was my favorite car from the last game, and dive into the first race. It's nice to see that the race types have changed too. Instead of fixed 3-lap or sprint races, the laps now depend on track length. This one's 5 laps, for example. Boosting is also way better. It's easier to earn, easier to maintain, and you're less likely to crash just by grazing a wall or another car, for the most part. We finished the first Grand Prix and grabbed 2 achievements, one for winning the series and one for earning gold in every race. That's the goal for every single Grand Prix. Winning that also unlocks our first face-off race. Just like in the first game, you win it, you unlock the car that you beat. We snag the hot rod and use it to win our first sprint race achievement. Then comes the first pursuit race. Basically, it's just a sprint where you're the cop. You have to ram the target car 10 times before the end of the race. I messed up twice and still won with a little over a mile to spare. But don't get too confident because these get way harder later into the game. Next up, the Winding Road Grand Prix. I try out the cop car. Big mistake. I did not know that you could turn the sirens off, so I had to mute my game the entire race. The flashing lights didn't really help either. They were super distracting for me. And the airport tracks are some of my least favorites in the game. I don't know if it's the rain, the cramped corners, or combination of both, but I just don't find them fun at all. Not much happens during these races except for this incredible 1440 flip that I pulled trying to dodge a bus. We grab our 2 achievements and move on to face-off number 2. This time I take the muscle car up against a legit race car. It's here that I discover there's actually a boost off the line mechanic, but of course I'm stubborn and I didn't look it up until way later. I read online some people saying that the rubber banding from the AI is brutal in this game, but honestly I didn't think it was that bad. It was better than Burnout 1. Some cars though, if they get ahead of you, forget it, just restart because you're not ever going to catch them. They do not wreck. Luckily I didn't have that issue in this race. Now we use our new oval racer in the next sprint race and grab the Miracle Mile Mastery achievement. Then we knock out another pursuit. And just a quick tip for the pursuit races, don't boost. Even though I was doing it, I didn't understand at the time. The target speed scales with yours, so all boosting does is shorten the track and give you less time to hit them. We unlock the Classic and start the Roller Coaster Grand Prix, which unfortunately includes Crystal Summit Peak. I hate every single version of this track with a passion, and it only gets worse with the Crystal Summit Lake time trial. But we'll get into that later. Aside from that torture, nothing major happens. We wrap up and collect our 2 achievements. Next up, face-off number 3. And of course, it's on the dreaded Crystal Summit Lake again. Both me and the AI crashed spectacularly on this corner, but I respawn ahead of him and take the win, no problem. That unlocks the Japanese muscle, which I use in the next sprint race, again on Crystal Summit. I lost the first time by absolutely demolishing the front of a truck at the finish line. But second try, we nail it and earn the achievement for getting gold on all the sprint races. Then it's on to another pursuit. I failed the first time, cruised through the second, and unlocked the Gangster, putting us halfway through the pursuits. We jump into the Street Storm Grand Prix with the Japanese muscle, and of course, I immediately start trying flip tricks again. But once I'm done practicing those, we knock out all 6 races with no problem and pick up 2 more achievements. Then we hit face-off number 4, grab the achievement for beating all the face-offs, and unlock my personal favorite car in this game, a supercar. We take it into the final championship race and unlock the custom series and the custom compact. Now that the championship mode's done, it's time for the custom series, which is basically the championship series but on steroids. I grab the custom compact and start the first Grand Prix of this series. Here's where I messed up though. I lost race 4 out of 6, and instead of quitting before it saved, I finished the series, which meant I had to do the entire thing again. I could have saved myself probably an hour over this entire playthrough, but you know, I'm an idiot, so whatever. Other than that, the only highlight of this was this absolute fustercluck of nonsense. My car respawns off of the track after a crash, falls through the map, and then respawns behind an 8-car pileup that I somehow squeezed through to win. We get the win achievement, but we're going to have to come back a little bit later for the gold medal. Since we didn't get all of the golds, pursuit number 4 stays locked, so we have to jump into Grand Prix 2 instead. I picked the custom sport. I have no idea how I unlocked it, but whatever. And I immediately start pulling flips like a pro again. I swap back to the custom compact, which thankfully also nails 6 flips. And it also wins races too, and that's 2 more achievements down. We breeze through the last Grand Prix, grab those 2 achievements, then go back to finish the one that we missed earlier. That wraps up all of the Grand Prix achievements. Next up, pursuits 4 and 5. Number 4 takes a couple of retries before I slam the target into another car to win. Number 5 goes down on the second try. So far, nothing's been too tough, but pursuit number 6 changes that. I don't even know how many times I restarted this one. I forgot to record most of it, which is probably for the best, because it was just fail after fail after fail after fail. After about an hour of trying, I finally got lucky enough to cram him into the bus and get the achievement for all of the pursuit races. Now that we're done with all of that, let's talk about Crash Mode. This is its first appearance in the series, and it's pretty simple. No crash breaker, no aftertouch, just hit stuff at the right angle and pray for chaos. There isn't a whole lot to say about any of this. We rack up golds and grab achievements for 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15 gold medals in Crash Mode. And finally, we move on to time trials. Most are easy. You don't even need to boost the whole lap, just drive clean and you're fine. Just like some of the races in the last game, sometimes you only need to go as fast as you need to, not as fast as you can. But then, there's Crystal Lake Summit Reverse. The hardest track by far. It demands absolute perfection. You need to hold boost basically the entire lap. There's non-stop tight turns and what seems like a vehicle in the way at every single one of them. Every single time that I thought that I had it, I'd crash in some brand new creative way that would just piss me off even more than I already was. So, 4 hours and 1 broken controller later, I admit that I gave up. Sometimes an achievement is just not worth the mental strain. I may come back at some point and do this, but I'm not stressing myself to force it right now. With the game beat and every achievement with 1 finished, I'm happy with this experience. While the mastery would have been nice, and will probably come eventually, I didn't want to ruin my opinion of the game by forcing myself to do something that was only making me angrier literally every 3 minutes. The game itself is much better than the first one. They took a foundational piece that was basic and boring and upgraded it in every single way possible. And the best part is, they would continue that trend for the next couple of games at least. With all that said, Burnout 2 Point of Impact gets a silver medal from me. And with that, we come to an end. If you enjoyed the video, hit subscribe to see what I play next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.